Now, last year, this diocese made over $160,000 in grants to parishes to help support their efforts to improve their building energy efficiency and empower simple acts to help change our habits as we seek to care for God's fragile planet. $160,000 is a great start, but we need to do more. As part of this campaign, we hope to raise $2 million to help protect our environment. And it's our plan, we'll take $1 million of that and expand our Green Grants initiative. And additionally, we're going to take the other $1 million and create a low-interest revolving loan fund that parishes will be able to borrow against to make significant improvements to their physical plans. Improvements that will help us to begin to answer our call to heal the planet. The needs to change our ways, as you all know, are urgent. And the church must set an example. And this diocese right now has a plan to lead the way. Now, I want to introduce you to Faith Salter, who's a member of St. Andrew's Church in Ayer, a parish that's benefited from the Green Grants program in the last year. And Faith has a story to share, a story of a small parish on the geographical edge of the diocese that was able to access these diocesan resources to enable healing. Faith.
Thank you. Oh, that was nice. I learned about energy conservation from my grandparents. They treasured our natural world, and every time we visited them, they made sure that we knew that every day we could act to protect the earth. And from them, I not only learned how to make a perfect strawberry jam, I learned that not turning off the lights was a capital offense. And so today, it is with pride that I work at the Appalachian Mountain Club, and I have education programs for outreach and education about energy conservation and climate change. But it's hard to feel like it really makes a difference. And then one day in 2009, I was driving up the road with my kids in the back, and my son called out, "Hey, Mom, this book talks about what you talk about." And that made me a little nervous. I never really know what he's reading. And I said, "What is it Mommy talks about?" And he said, "Climate change." And I said, "Yeah, that's right, I do. I talk about climate change." And he said, "I want to talk about climate change too." So I took him to my office, and we made a slide presentation, and I watched him talk to his kindergarten class about how saving energy saves the planet. And I thought, a simple message is really best. And I created something that I could deliver at my church in the fall, and we had a great program open to the community, and plenty of people showed up, and that was lovely. But it didn't really do anything, and I was frustrated. I sit in church every Sunday, and I hear this question: are you doing everything you could to serve God? And I have to admit, sometimes I'm at a loss. Am I? I don't know, maybe. But I felt like there was more I could do to help other people help heal the planet and save energy. So one day I just gave up and I said, "Look, God, you know what I'm good at. Tell me what to do." And then I had this idea. I'd like to think it was from God, but we'll go with that. I created a contest where people would get a chance to learn simple energy-saving steps at home. And on St. Francis Day in 2010, I got to give the sermon. And I went up and stood there and told them why it was important to me and why energy conservation was important in a community of faith. And I was talking to the 8 o'clockers. They're a bit of a tough crowd. I got a lot of the mad face. And then I said, "Look, if you take part in this contest, you could win a weekend away for 2 with the Appalachian Mountain Club's Crawford Notch Center." And then they were all happy. It was pretty good. So 3 months, we had a 3-month-long contest of learning and action. And one parishioner came up to me and said, "I started out very resistant to you, but the other day I woke up and changed over all my light bulbs. Then I went to my parents and did the same thing." I thought, awesome. And then another parishioner came up to me and said, "When is this going to be over? This is not church talk." They thought it was just me and my environmentalist shtick. So we applied for and received a Simple Acts grant from the diocese. And I have to tell you, that was great, because receiving a grant from the diocese proves that it is church talk. Right? I was happy about that. Oh, that feels nice. And then something else really great happened. We have a young person in our church, Caden Nasworthy, who was part of YLA, and his church project that he presented to the vestry was about doing energy conservation projects. And while the vestry was a little lukewarm, listening to me, they really responded to this well-spoken, dedicated young man telling them how easy and important it was to save energy. And they got inspired to apply for another grant from the Green Grants Initiative. And we received even more money to improve our coffee hour room, which people are going to see every Sunday. So tomorrow, St. Andrews is hosting a community-based, do-it-yourself weatherization workshop. And next week, we're hosting a diocesan show, which is a chance to learn about how to improve energy efficiency in your house of worship. By the way, you can still register for both of those events. Love to have you. That would be great. This is a lot for a little church like St. Andrews. So I don't know if you all know where Ayer is, but it's way out in the western reach of the diocese, out by 495, okay? And when you're out that far, it's easy to feel like you're alone and that nobody cares about you and you have to do everything by yourself. But we don't. With the Green Grants Initiative, we haven't had to do it by ourselves. And I have to tell you, as part of my work for AMC, I've researched other communities of faith and how they support energy conservation in their parishes. And this is the only one that really encourages each parish to find the right chords to strike with their community to inspire that action for energy conservation. And it's a way for them to acknowledge our unique gifts as a parish, our priorities as a congregation, and that common belief that we do care about clean air, that leaving the lights on is a capital offense, and we can make a difference. Thank you.
Okay, now where is Faith's story your story? Where is the story of her parish, the story of your parish? You know, one of the things that I love the most about this job is getting to go out and visit all of you in parishes. And one of the things that I hear over and over again is, how do we engage our young people? Well, Faith's story isn't the only one about engaging younger generations. As part of the Green Grants Initiative, Grace Everett's community garden project was spearheaded by 2 young people in their parish. And the excitement and leadership of the youth and young adults at Grace Medford led not only to their church, but the entire town cleaning up neighborhood parks and enhancing the community green space in Medford as part of our Green Grants Initiative. So taking care of the environment is already a buy-in for our children and youth and young adults. They get it. They've been learning about this, about global warming in school, and they're being asked to participate in efforts to save the earth and help the environment. What they don't get in school is the understanding that as we help green our churches and save energy and become better recyclers, we're also doing what God asked us in Genesis, to be good stewards of the earth and everything that's in it. It's a faith issue, and it is a natural connection that we share with the younger generations in our parishes. So this campaign is going to help make some of that possible. Perhaps your congregation has decided that it's time to replace those hot, inefficient light bulbs in the flying saucer fixtures in your sanctuary. You know who you are. Perhaps you want to install electronic thermostats to automatically regulate heat in different areas of the building. We're going to help you do that with $1 million from this campaign dedicated to green grants. Or perhaps your vestry has decided to replace that old, inefficient oil burner in the basement. Or maybe to replace those outrageously drafty windows in the parish hall. Additionally, we're going to allot another $1 million from this campaign to a low-interest loan fund that will help you make those more substantial changes in your parishes. So now, take a moment and dream with me. Perhaps you're seated with some other people from your parish, and you might want to talk with them. What is it that God might be calling you and your parish to do, both in mission work beyond our diocese and environmental improvements to your church buildings? And what are the possibilities that this campaign might make possible for you? So take a moment, and it's actually 90 seconds to be exact, to dream and talk with your neighbors. And you were given this salmon-colored paper that might help you jot down a few notes. But just take this moment. There's folks in the aisle who have more of these if you need them. Listen for the Holy Spirit's leading. Go.